Sawasdee and welcome to Paul Selection. In this channel, we talk about fine things in life and the reason why I chose them. Well, it has been a while, really a while, because I have reasons, and that's because the episode that you are watching right now, is episode 201. And I have a feeling that when I want to start something new, like anything that starts with like one, like this episode, it should be something significant in many ways, especially to me. And that's why we are going to talk about these three. These are my babies. Well, before we start, well, if this is your first time, well, I'm a scientist, a lecturer. I am a full-time lecturer in the university in Bangkok, Thailand. And I am a scientist by training, by education, by practice. And well, I got trained in biotechnology, but I have passion in perfumes, flavors, anything good, anything fancy. Anyway, I have been working in the industry, in perfumery for more than 20 years. But mostly I was in the R&D department, research and development, until like in the early 2000s, I was a part of a company that based in UK. Okay, and the company wanted to produce spa products, perfume, toiletries with the ingredients and the smell, the extract of Thai flowers. And unfortunately, it was not well received because, well, in Thailand especially, when we talk about perfume, people back then, like 20 years ago, people are very much into, they were very much into like counter brands, The niche was not something normal, was not something that people would turn to. But things are completely different, especially after COVID. Anyway, well, and that was the history. After, let me go back a little bit, because during my education, my advisor during my PhD, he once told me that with the PhD degree, Doctor of Philosophy, at the end, after graduation, I should be able to think through. I should be able to solve problems with, systematic thought that should bring about solutions. Anyway, that's how we got trained as a scientist. But then, when I came back here to Thailand, I have written proposals, and many times, the granting agencies ask me, well, since I was trained as a virologist, but I asked for a research granting in different fields. Okay, it was kind of strange here. They believe that when you got trained in, let's say, in one subject, you should be only working in that particular subject until the death, and that's not me. Well, like I said, my advisor, he told me that, well, he only trained me to think, to analyze, and to work out problems. But well, that skill was somehow not appreciated. So luckily, I got involved into different projects in the private sectors. So things went quite okay, no complaint. But then, when we talk about perfumery, uh, in my university, like back then when I did my PhD, it was a saying, I must say that it's the philosophy of the university that the learners should be able to learn basically everything and anything that they wish to learn from the institute. And that's something that I appreciate very much. And I had a chance, okay, to learn in many different things besides science, biology, or virology that I've just mentioned, including sensory, like here, it's the basis of perfumery. I took classes in chemistry, of course, as a science student. So it was something in the basic anyway. But then because of my passion in perfumes, and especially, with the major in biology, I was in many classes that talked about plants, flowers, tropical, and species around the world. In addition, I have chances to travel quite all over. So in this case, I would say that these bring about who I am to appreciate ingredients of different sources around the world. That's who I am, and not only as the person who have passion in perfumes, I also collect perfumes. I also use perfume. I also make perfumes. And these are like my most recent babies. Well, let's start with the first one, shall we? The first one is called Egalite. But this one was a project that I got asked or invited by the brand Vive Perfume. And these three, in fact, these are all Thai brand, Thai niche perfume brand. Vive Perfume is based in Bangkok, and if you ever visit Thailand or Bangkok, they have two locations right now. One is on the third floor in Siam Paragon, and the other is on the first floor in the Central World, called Vive Perfume. Okay, Vive, Vive Perfume. And the one that we have right now is called Egalite. Let's start from the very beginning. In the year 2022, the brand owner approached me and asked if I would like to involve in a project to develop a fragrance to celebrate Pride Month. And it was like in the mid 2022. So that means we had to launch this perfume by maybe June 2023. So we had roughly a year to develop. And that was all he gave me. Okay. And I was a kind of unsure, let's say, if he wanted me to blend it, if he wanted me to, participate in which part of the perfume. And in the end, we agreed that I would be the one who designed the concept and everything. Okay. But he would be the one who blend, who produce this perfume. Okay, so with the idea to celebrate Pride Month, I thought of, well, of course, rainbow. Because rainbow represents diversity of people of different and various orientations. And how could we relate rainbow to perfume? And because I am a floral lover, I chose 6 ingredients from plants, different flowers, and I want to bring out equality in perfumery, especially when we talk about different ingredients. Of course, each of these had different strength. You cannot put the same concentration of rose together with that of jasmine and and others. It won't work that way. So in this case, we had to adjust the concentration to achieve the results that I discussed with the brand owner, Good Pet, okay? And we wanted the result that the perfume should represent everyone. And this should be inclusive. That means anybody can use it. Anybody should appreciate it because we have the vision, like, when we talk about equality, uh, from, when we talk about diversity of life, diversity of people, we talk about LGBTQIAN plus. These are people of different orientation, of different backgrounds. Maybe they are from different culture, different religions, different geographical locations. So I want to make sure that this should be liked or loved by anyone. So we had to work on the concentration, the strength, and the performance, especially that it's not too overwhelming, but it should stay. It should not be too heavy, but it should not be too light either. So in this case, we worked through, and yes, in the end, we got the right concentration of each of these ingredients. And then, well, about a year after the first talk, we got the juice done. But then the difficult part, the name. The name is actually very, very difficult part because first of all, we don't want to use the same name as, others have already chosen. So we have to come up with something unique, something different, and something that says about equality. I talk about maybe the nature, the natural part. Should we use something abstract like, I don't know, maybe feeling, happiness, love? But in the end, we chose the word Egalite, which is French. That means equality, and that's it. I was quite surprised that this word has not been chosen by any brand ever. Where I checked from Google, from search engine, but none. Okay, results give Egalite as the result. Anyway, that's how we come up with the name. And because Vive Perfume, the brand itself, has also different perfume, and they love to use French name for the perfume, so that's why I think that this is a good name for it. In addition, the pattern that you could see here on the sticker of the perfume in the front here, I'm not sure if you could see it, but these are actually flower with 6 petals. Okay, 6 petals, and it has been divided in pieces that looks like kaleidoscope. And the color, okay, that you could see on this mosaic contain 6 colors. Yes, 6 colors, 6 ingredients, 6 petals of the flowers. And all of them look like mosaic because we are now talking about diversity. We're talking about, a mixture of people from different background, different orientation, different, by all means, and I think that this is just perfect as it is. Okay, and yes, it was launched in the year 2023 in June to celebrate the Pride Month last year, and this year 2024 it's still around. Because I talked to Kun the brand owner, the perfumer of this Egalite. He said it's something that he loved it very much. I think that this is one of the very few floral fragrance that he has in his brand, Vive Perfume. So if you happen to be around Bangkok or visit Bangkok in sometime in the future, well, please feel free to visit Vive Perfume and tell me how you like it. Next is this one. This one is called Tiramisu by all means, and this one is the project that I work with a brand called Rebellion. Rebellion is another brand, and it has its own like store. The Rebellion, the location, the store is called Rebellion Lab and Perfume Bar. It's in Dragon Town in Bangkok. So you can search on the Google Map for Rebellion Lab and Perfume Bar. You'll find it. Well, the store is a multi-brand store. It has several perfume from or by the Thai perfumers. And it has its own brand as well, called, of course, Rebellion. And in this collection, they wanted to make something easier because, like I said, it's a niche brand, and some of the brand that you could find in this store is like Prin from Prin Rose, Stranger's Perfumery from Prin Rose as well. What else? Tada Parfumier, Siam 1928. All these are Thai perfumes, Thai niche perfumes. So if you have a chance, again, please visit them. But for those who have experienced, or tried any of their work, you should know that they are very unique in many different ways. So that's why, they came up with the idea to make it more digestible by the audience, by the consumers, by the customers. So this collection is for that. Okay, and I got invited to work on this one, especially. They just asked me to make, let's say, Paul, can you make one perfume for this collection? I said, sure, why not? It should be something interesting, and like the name suggests, rebellion. It should be something that, go against something. And I'm the one that do not like gourmand perfume in general, okay? Because, well, I love dessert. I have sweet tooth, but I don't like gourmand because I found most of them, like 99.99%, fake. I could not take it because, when I like, let's say, vanilla cake so much, but then, when I try to smell the perfume that they claim that it smells like vanilla cake, it does not work, or it smells like very cheap, or bad quality of vanilla cake. It could, turn rancid, or, it does not work that way. So it was quite a challenge for me to make gourmand perfume and try to make it as realistic as possible. And I'm also the one who do not like vanilla at all, like in perfume, because I found it too sweet, too syrupy. But I like some vanilla that is lighter, not so powdery, not too heavy. So it was a challenge. But in the end, I made it. Tiramisu by all means. And my inspiration was that because I love dessert, especially tiramisu. Like every time that I go out and go for Italian food, if they have tiramisu on the menu, I would order definitely. And 100%, I failed. Even they failed me. None of them in Thailand so far. I have never tasted a good tiramisu. Why? Maybe because the ingredients that they have added, it got restricted by cost, by regulation, by law. Because tiramisu that I like, I was once visiting my friend, and his mother, after a meal, fixed a tiramisu like very quickly, like within an hour, and then we had the most delicious tiramisu I have ever had. Well, it contained alcohol, rum, could be kalua if you have, but in Italy, usually they use something else, because kalua is something American. They use amaretto. Sometimes they use masala, and these are good, like good, good, good. And then they use mascarpone. Mascarpone is dessert, sweet kind of cheese, not cream cheese. They're not the same. They are not the same. Okay, so I love mascarpone. I want to have like strong espresso in my tiramisu, and also uh, it shouldn't be too sweet. Okay, and of course it has some cacao and it has um, cinnamon spice, a little bit here and there, and because it's perfume, it shouldn't smell like food 100%. So I add some touches in like in perfumery, like I add lilac here, I add linden, okay, accords. So if you have tried or owned tiramisu, by all means, you will find out that it's actually tiramisu, but it has some perfume like elements in it, like at the base, maybe after 6 7 hours, you would smell, okay, you'll be able to smell lilac and linden, like I said. And the reason that I chose lilac, because well, I want something not too sweet. If I picked jasmine or rose, it could be really overwhelming, and I want it to be tiramisu by all means. It shouldn't be floral, it shouldn't be citrusy or anything. It should be just tiramisu. So in this case, I picked a very subtle floral note or a floral accords, like I said, lilac, to give salty touch to the note, to the perfume. And I pick linden accords to lift up, to break the sweetness. So that's the story behind tiramisu, by all means, at Rebellion. Okay, so this is my first gourmand fragrance that I like, not too sweet. And the other one, this one is called Spring is in the Air. And this one is also a collaboration project that I work with another perfume store in Bangkok called Nerve to Nose. This one is located on Charoen Krung. So just like I said, Google Map for it, Nerve to Nose, and then you would find it. Here is another multi-brand, okay, that you would find Thai niche brand, okay, here. And in the early 2024, I got asked, okay, by Kun Pratin Tip, and she's the owner of Nerve to Nose. She asked me to join a project for Bangkok Design Week 2024 in February. And the project was to make a fragrance that has Pantone. Pantone code, the color. So you can see here, it's green. It's light green. And that's how it should smell like. But, well, she didn't give me any color. She let us pick. Like I and other, perfumers, we produce different colors. And I picked green because, February, it's springtime in Bangkok. But springtime in Bangkok is not spring because the temperature would be like 30 degree. Yes, that's our spring. And it's hot, it's humid, it's spring. But because, I went to school in the US and I experienced 4 seasons. And I remember like clearly how spring smells like. I remember like every feeling, the smell, the touch, the sight of spring very, very well. And I wanted to transfer that feeling into this bottle, And another story is, well, from the movie, Devil Wears Prada. Okay, Devil Wears Prada. In one scene, I think that Miranda, she sarcastically replied to Andy's idea about floral for spring. Okay, and she said groundbreaking. Well, that's sarcastic, Spring, of course, is floral, but it's so cliche. So I would like to come up with something which is not floral forward. And in this case, I came up with green, light green, just like young leaves just emerge from the seed or a tree or stem or something, it should be light green. And in the morning, where you could feel the warmth of the sun, you could feel the fresh air, the fresh breeze, okay, in the morning, in the spring. So this is green, non-floral. Well, like I said, it's not floral forward. It has some floral elements for sure, but it's green. Every person that has tried spring is in the air said that it's all like in consensus that this one is green, but it's light green. It's something that clean, soft, cool, refreshing. And the main notes that I put here is basil, and it's sweet basil. So it's green, herbal, but I don't want it to smell like food, because in Thailand we have some spicy food, some salad that contain this sweet basil. So I want to make sure that it's still like perfume. So I break basil, okay, sweet basil with some irises, some musk, patchouli, and some other ingredients to make sure that it stays green from the beginning to the end, but it should not be dirty green because sometimes patchouli can be dirty. But in this case, I want to make sure that you can actually wear it in a hot summer day, like hot spring day in Bangkok. Through sweat, through the heat, you should still feel clean, just almost as if you just came out of the shower. That's how I wanted to feel like after applying this one. Spring is in the air. So if this is something that you have an idea, if you live in a hot country, or if you have some summer fragrance, okay, and most of the time it's citrus, right? But this case, okay, it has some bergamot in the beginning just to lift it up, but tiny bit. The main note is still basil, green. So in this case, okay, if you are interested in these babies of mine, well, they are still available, but I'm not sure if they ship it overseas. But if you have a chance, please feel free to try. Again, these are Thai niche brand that you could find when you visit Thailand. Anyway, that's all for now. If you have any questions or anything interesting, well, let's say if you have idea, if you want to suggest me to maybe produce or make new perfume in the future, something interesting, something like, yeah. Anyway, oh yeah, just let me know. Let the conversation start, and until next time. สวัสดีครับ